They say home is where the heart is, so I wonder why a motherfucker always feeling heartless.
Welcome back to another episode of Doubly Negative. As always, I'm Chris here with my friend Kyle. Kyle, how are you?
I'm okay, Chris. Got a little bit of heartburn, but nothing that's unmanageable. How you doing?
I'm doing well. As you know, Man United lost this morning to Arsenal. Deserved 3 points
Well,
for Arsenal.
Yeah.
And you were at an Arsenal bar. So how did that feel as a Manchester United fan?
kind of sucked. Yeah,
Good,
kind of sucked.
Good.
It was like it's like we scored first and our celebration was a little muted because it's like, okay, we're not really in our home territory. I don't want to go too crazy. And then when Arsenal scored, it was a fucking roar. I was very impressed, but very annoyed at how into it the fans there were.
Well, now you know how the Manchester United players felt. You know, they were also away from home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not having that same kind of backing, and arguably yours is more uncomfortable because you're within the mix of people that are against you, you know.
Yeah, it kind of sucked.
Yeah, but you made it through. And I'm glad you had to watch it at an Arsenal bar, you being a Manchester United fan.
One thing I was confused about was your absence.
Yeah, I'm glad we can talk about this. So last night I joined a pro clubs party. Me, Kyle, Pete, Fu.
Talking on Xbox Live.
Yes. We play pro clubs. And they're like, oh, Hope Street tomorrow. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, you guys are going to Hope Street? I had never heard. I didn't get any information about this. Kai goes, yeah, we're going. You are too, right? I was like, don't know. This is the first time I'm hearing of it. And then...
Is that true?
Yes, 100%.
Because I was under the impression that we canceled last week with the understanding that this week it was definitely happening.
That could be something I missed, admittedly, but I don't recall that whatsoever.
Well, that admission, I think that throws enough gray area in.
Let's bring up the text documents. Do we have the files?
Text documents.
Yeah, when was this discussed?
I think it would have been exclusively over Xbox Live Pro Clubs times.
No written confirmation. So it's mentioned once a week ago and then never brought up again.
Well, you're not always in the Pro Clubs chats, and I'm not sure about why you're absent there either sometimes.
I got other stuff to do.
Debatable.
You know, I got a wife. We do stuff together. And I'm not always on Xbox.
Well, you know what the famous priorities list is? It goes club, wife, kids. So the club comes first.
No. Not the Xbox Live club with your friends.
The Yaki Yakbos come first.
So we're kind of coming up, not to switch gears here, but we're kind of coming up on a difficult time for the club. I know you have an Xbox now, but the time change could cause some issues for the lads.
I'm hoping that it's going to be some motivation for me to wake up early. I'm hoping that it's going to go smoothly. I'm going to wake up at 7-ish and life is going to be great. The club's going to thrive. That's what I'm hoping. We'll see.
Yeah, I hope so. It's a good time. We're doing well. But as you guys all heard in the beginning, there's a little bit of a disconnect in the club. Team building exercises being put on without, the whole team being invited. Until they show up and they say, oh, you're going here tomorrow? And they go, oh, yeah. I mean, I thought it was assumed. That was something that was said. It was assumed that you already knew. Assumed? We've gone once this year.
That is a standard narrative.
We have gone once this year, but it was assumed that I knew we were all going this Saturday.
I do just want to reiterate, I have now my memory is shit in general, but I have a cloudy memory of being in the same chat last week, and I was specifically asked, "Are you going to go tomorrow?" And I said no, but absolutely next week. And I think you were in that one. If you weren't,
no. So I know when we had the conversation where you told Pete you were not going. I was there for that, but I don't recall absolutely next week. And if you know anything about this friend group, absolutely next week is not a confirmation. You need a confirmation later on in the week. You can't just say absolutely next week and then Saturday night it's like, okay, I know where I'm going tomorrow because we're certainly going to be there.
Well, I can't speak for anyone else, but when I say absolutely, I mean it, and I was the one that said it, and I was there.
Oh, so you absolutely mean it absolutely all the time?
If I say absolutely, I try to mean it. Yeah.
I bet I can go through our chat logs, and I'm guilty of it too. I'm not just calling you out, but there's probably been times where I'll absolutely be ready at this time, and then it's
Let's do it. Let's go through them.
We can't do it right now because I can't see, but I know I'm guilty of it too. I don't want to shift focus on our own problems.
Is this why we're not together right now? Is this why you?
No, it has nothing to do with that. I have a little bit of an earache, and I hope I don't have like a little ear infection going on here.
Is our relationship suffering as a result of this?
So if we were a couple married living in a house, we would be like interacting, but it's not like fun.
You would be giving me the cold shoulder. You would be saying things with a shitty tone. You wouldn't really be looking at me.
Yes. Yeah. And every once in a while I would throw in like you want a water or something? Like offer it out, see if I can kind of ease our way back into just,
And I would be like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Yeah, you wouldn't get it.
No.
Yeah, you wouldn't understand.
I'd be like, he's being so gay, and I'm gay too because I'm with you, but like you're being super gay.
Yeah, and then like we'd like get ready for bed, lay down, and then I wouldn't be cuddly, and you would ask, "What's wrong?"
And when you didn't answer me, I would just violently rape you without your consent.
Yeah, it would be brutal. You don't want to talk? Fine, I don't either.
I'm gonna make you bleed in a very specific area.
Disgusting. That got violent quick. But yeah, well, that's what we'd be doing right now. I'd be taken advantage of, if you will, from Kyle.
Well, I'm glad I'm not your wife or your husband for that matter.
I'm the one that would be taking it. You're the one that was aggressive.
I see.
Oh, you're saying you weren't even like thinking about the rape thing at all. You were thinking about just like the passive aggressive tone throughout the house, not even the crime.
Yeah, if you share a bed with me, you're gonna get it. That's just a given. I was going back to the argument. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. You're like, oh, the rape thing. No, not that. Just
not a big deal.
The whole, jabs back and forth throughout the night is too much for Kyle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But hey, I'm willing to move past it if you are, and I know you aren't responsible. I should have led.
Yeah, I was just about to say I don't think I have anything to really.
You're a passenger in the situation.
Absolutely.
You're going to a bar that me and a couple other people in the group go to. You're not an Arsenal fan. You're not the one driving hey, let's all go to this place.
So you do agree that it's generally understood that you and these people go there. Is it almost assumed that you go there?
No, not even close. Like I said, we've only gone
I'm
once
walking you
year.
into...
No, we've only gone once this year. Maybe twice. But if I am going, you can assume I'd be with these people. And you could also assume that it would be mentioned in the group chat between me and these two other people.
Well, sounds like you got a rift forming. You're going to have to address that.
No, I'm not going to address it.
Oh.
No, I'm just going to move on and chalk it up to maybe I missed a text. Maybe I missed something that was said while playing pro clubs. Who knows? We move on. We move. Just like Arsenal when they went down today. They moved. And what happened?
You're asking me?
Yeah, no, you were there. You saw.
I didn't see the end of the game. I don't know. I left early.
Did you really?
No.
Oh, okay. So what happened?
I forget. It was like some sort of accident or something.
Well, Arsenal won in the 90th minute, and
that doesn't sound right. I don't know about that. I'll have to check.
Whoo! It was something. I was screaming. It was a good time, and I was just in my house with my dog, not with my friends, because I was. What was the word I used before? Afterthought.
Gay?
Yeah. No, it was an afterthought invitation. Okay. So I guess we could talk about that. Have you been in a situation where you've received you can come too?
I think I'm always the first on the invite list just by default. So I don't think I've been in that situation.
The toxicity from pro clubs is kind of coming over into the podcast.
No, that's not toxic. I'm just, kind of.
No, I'm for it's just like Pete with the he's good. Like, when they're talking about the other club.
I'm trying to think if I've ever been in that situation. I don't think so. Well, I'm sure I have, but it maybe. I think in those, because I just generally don't want to do things usually.
Even if it's like the group of like your core like best friends.
Yeah, it's probably just like a very easy way to decline. Like, okay, I wasn't really involved here anyway, so it's easy for me to decline. So I see it as a relief. I remember we were having like me and another group of friends will have like online poker nights sometimes. Very rarely, but it happens. And because of the time zone difference, like they're in the US, I was in Bali. I remember it was like, they made the plans when I wasn't even up, and I woke up and they just started playing without me, and I was like, whatever. And it kind of miffed me a little bit, but it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, like that's why I'm not going to address this. Not a big deal, but maybe that's where we differ. I'm the kind of guy that's like, oh, we want to go here. Let me tell all the people that would want to be involved that I want them involved. There's a little separation there.
I see it. Well,
makes you think.
I thought we were moving on, but it sounds like we're still in it.
No, we can move on. So what's going on with you?
Let's see. I'm leaving at the end of the week.
End of the week. That came up. Well, you were talking about wanting to leave, but it was one of those like not sure yet. We're gonna get a date, and whenever I hear that in my head, I'm like, well, it'll be pushed. Like, yeah, you're looking, but it's not gonna be that soon. Or you can grab a flight like that. So you found one and you're taking it. What day?
Friday.
I was one of the last to hear about that too.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, no, we'll move on. So Friday. Are you excited? Are you nervous? Did you do what you wanted to do while you were here?
All of those things, yes. Yeah. I'm excited to go back. Excited for the warm weather again, of course. But
I'm jealous.
Yeah, of course I'm going to be with my lovely girlfriend again. See my other friends over there.
But you must remember that since you left, premarital sex has been outlawed. So refrain.
Yeah, we're not going to do any of that. No.
Okay, just wanted to remind you, you weren't there when it happened, and you're going back. I would hate to see you in jail for,
No, I'm not going to break any laws. Nervous, yeah, and this is something I don't know if we've talked about, but almost any time I make a transition, it's like I've made a new comfort zone. Like my comfort zone was over there, and I was nervous to come back. Now I've made a comfort zone here. Now I'm nervous to go back, and it's just like I'm gonna leave where I feel safe. So that, and then as far as doing everything I wanted to do here, yeah, I feel like it. I feel like I've spent time with who I needed to spend time with, and I definitely worked pretty hard on all the mental health stuff. I did a lot with regard to that.
Yeah.
So, and that was the main goal. So, yeah, I think I've done what I needed to do.
So this is kind of like a big time. Like when you get back, you need to make sure you stay on track, because like you said, you're nervous to go back, and you've developed that comfort zone here. And now you're going somewhere. It's like it's not as intense as it was when you first moved away from all your friends and family, but I'm sure there's still a little bit of that like hanging around when you go back after a long period of time.
What do you mean exactly hanging around?
No, like I mean, so you came here, you developed that comfort zone feeling, being around friends and family. And it's not like you're moving there for the first time. I'm sure when you moved there for the first time, you had a lot of anxiety, a lot of questions, a lot of unknowns. And you don't have as many now, but you have got comfortable being back here and being home. And now you're going back there, and it's not as intense as moving there for the first time, but I'm sure some of those feelings still are kind of there.
Yeah, I always see it as a good chance to kind of reset. And I think usually when I make a transition like this, moving to a new place, usually I kind of use it as a momentum builder. And if I get started right away, whatever, I'm on a good track. So hopefully that's the case. Could go the other way, but I'm hoping not.
Yeah, and I think it'll be like a nice, like you'll have all that, like reuniting with Tika and just being happy, being back with her, and that'll be enough to like get you through what could be like a hard time. Like if you didn't have someone to go back to there, it might be a little more difficult.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think that'll be good. And like Kyle noted, he will not be breaking any laws. So if you're listening, Indonesian government, he didn't do it.
No, of course not.
Yeah. So Friday, huh?
Yep. First going to I'm heading to Bangkok first, just for I think 2 nights. Meeting up with a couple friends that I haven't seen in a while, and then straight on to Bali after that.
Should we try to plan something before you go? As a friend group.
Oh, well, we
like
could.
Maybe like a little get together, like, hey, you're leaving, see you in the flesh for the last time for a little while.
We certainly could.
I think that would be a good idea, even though it'll be tough with, it being a weekday. I'm sure we can figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's see about that. I gotta see what's going on with my family too, but as long as it's not too late, because I'm leaving Friday, Thursday, cutting it close. But
yeah, cutting it very close. We'll figure it out. If we don't, we don't. Mm-hmm. So what else is going on?
How about you? What are you doing? What's going on with you?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good. I'm exercising. I'm excited to go to the gym, and I kind of joined a cult since the last time we talked.
A cult?
Well, it's a cult. Not really a cult, but if this person were to start a cult, I would join.
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Huberman.
Oh.
Yeah, so Huberman to me is like Tate to you, where like I really look up to this guy. Everything he says, I really agree with.
Okay.
And I think that's because he sounds way smarter than me, and I'm like, oh, he's got this title. Whatever he says, I'll do.
He does sound pretty smart.
Yeah. So I heard him on the Two Bears One Cave podcast, and listening, I was just, after hearing it, I just wanted to hear more of what he had to say. And he goes way more in depth in his own podcast series. So I've just started all the way at the bottom, episode 1, and I'm working my way through. And I've already spent some money. So this guy is successful.
Is he selling his own products, or what? No, he spent money on?
He just talks about things he does. He links certain things, and he has sponsors, obviously, but a lot of the times when he's talking about something he does or a product he uses, he says, "They are no way affiliated to me. This is just something I use. I've seen a lot of success with this."
Okay.
So I bought a light sunlight replicating lamp to use in the mornings because he said that was beneficial. I bought some supplement that I haven't taken yet because I'm nervous to take it.
Why?
It's only been studied on rats for some of the stuff that's in there.
Here we go.
Yeah, and I was like, it's supposed to boost your testosterone, your natural testosterone, and really like it's kind of like taking steroids without taking steroids.
Dick pills for rats.
So I have that in my cupboard, ready to take, but I'm worried that it might affect my natural testosterone when I stop taking it. And if I were to fuck up me and Michelle's chances of having a kid for taking a supplement, like when we've been trying so hard for it, I would never be able to forgive myself. So I'm keeping it shelved. And
now I haven't listened to this guy a lot, but he seems like a very thorough guy. So I would imagine he would have addressed that concern while he was talking about this, wouldn't he?
Yes, he did. But there are other things online saying that it could potentially damage your natural T levels. He says it hasn't for him. And another thing I respect about him is saying he will say like, oh, it hasn't happened to me. You should consult your doctor. You're different than I am. Consult your physician, get your blood work done. You make your own decisions, but this works for me. So he's not saying this will make you jacked. This will make you produce so much testosterone. He says, these are my numbers before and after I take it. Here's my blood work. It works for me.
Well, it's not his product he's selling, so that's just being safe and smart. Like,
yeah, exactly. Because people, oh, well, he told me to take it. I'm going to sue him.
Yeah. So what are you doing then? Are you just gonna wait for a day when you feel more sure about it, or are you gonna go to your doctor, or what are you doing with it?
No, I'm gonna wait because so Michelle and I are trying to have a baby. Obviously, we've talked about that many times in this podcast. We have failed multiple times, but she has been prescribed progesterone, which is something she has to bad whistle.
I take that stuff too.
Yep, right up the wazoo, and it disintegrates, and it's supposed to help, you know, the walls, grab that seed that I'm sending up there.
So it makes the pussy tighter.
No, 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 no. It just makes the walls catching. It's like I was gonna do like a baseball analogy when you hit a home run and someone catches it with the glove.
Okay.
So someone trying to catch the home run ball with the glove versus a bare hand.
Okay, and it makes your glove huge.
Walls are wearing, yeah. So the glove's huge, so it has a better chance of catching it. So we're working with that stuff, and if that doesn't work, we're gonna move to IVF. So if this doesn't work, and we're going to IVF, I might start it when we're doing the IVF, or I might do it after we start the IVF. Just here's my part of the deal. I don't need to supply anything anymore. You make that work, and I can do whatever.
So let me put this in more basic terms. I think what you're saying is this stuff might affect your sperm in some way. So you want to get your sperm out of your body where it needs to be, and then you can mess up the next sperm because that sperm it won't matter as much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm hedging my bets here.
Yeah.
But after we have a child, if I fuck up my natural testosterone levels, I'll just hop on synthetic for the rest of my life until I die. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, we should probably do that anyway. We're getting to that age.
Yep. 31. You're 33.
34.
That's old.
Yeah, my balls are they're done.
Speaking of balls, though, people that take this stuff, most of the things I've read, they're like, yeah, my balls are massive from taking this stuff.
Really?
It'll increase the size of your testicles because they're working at such a higher rate to produce testosterone.
All right. Well, that's the opposite of taking tests then, because that makes your balls smaller.
So you're saying I should take it now?
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to increase your chances.
I mean, it could. It's an aphrodisiac. They call it the black aphrodisiac in Africa, the root that it's derived from.
So it's not for white people.
Soon, we don't know yet. I'll tell you after I start taking it. But stay tuned for that.
What if it makes your dick black?
And it have you seen that South Park episode where Stan's dad is wheeling his balls around in a wheelbarrow?
Yeah.
That's gonna be me.
Well, that was my next question. Are you worried that it's gonna make your balls too big that your dick is disproportionately small?
It's already a cocktail weenie sitting on top of a coin purse.
So not much damage can be done.
Like a larger coin purse.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. I support it either way. I think you're doing the right thing.
So here's the thing. Here's like the kind of risk reward. I risk, disproportionate genitalia, but I'm married already, and I'll be jacked.
And your dick might be black.
Fine.
Those are all good things.
Yeah. I mean, tell me the negative, and I won't do it.
I don't hear.
Go ahead, try.
No, I don't hear anything negative.
Yeah. So anything this guy has been saying, I've been like, oh, I should do it. And I've been like annoyingly talking to Michelle about it. Like, oh, we should do this. We should do that. We should do this. And it seems a little crazy, but at least it's me wanting to better, my current situation.
Sure. Yeah. And it was kind of a coincidence because you asked me about if I heard about him. And I had already because he's been around for a little bit.
Yeah.
But just the night before you texted me, I'd watched something where he was talking about cold showers. And literally the next day I did it, and I've been doing it for like 4 days, and they blow. It sucks.
Yeah,
especially here because I've been doing cold showers on and off for a long time. I heard about it like 10 years ago, but I just forgot. No, I didn't really forget. Actually, the problem is in Indonesia and Thailand, you can't get the water cold enough. It's just it's just lukewarm. Yeah. So back at my mom's in here in it's really cold, dude. That water gets ice cold. I got like a headache from the water on my head.
Yeah.
But actually it feels pretty good, and they say there's a lot of health benefits. I don't know, so I might
So
continue doing it.
I did that the day I left the gym Thursday, and I haven't had the balls to do it again.
Mm.
But I am gonna try again tomorrow when I get home from the gym.
It's rough.
Yeah, but the key is to start slow. Like take a warm shower and then slowly lower it throughout the shower, and then stay in there for a little while and then turn it off, and then try to just get in there longer and longer each time.
Maybe I just did the cold plunge the first time. I just went straight ass ice cold. Kill me. I was like whimpering. I was like,
yeah,
yeah,
it's bad. Start warm and just make it progressively colder when you first start. I feel like that's the easiest. That's what I've done each time.
Okay.
So I don't know, but yeah, I joined a cult, and like I said, I'm feeling good. I feel like I'm dropping weight. I have a little more confidence with myself because I'm lifting weights again.
Nice.
Deadlifted at the gym the other day, and I wasn't going to. I saw someone struggling with 225, and I said, you know what? I can deadlift.
So you felt like the alpha in the room because
not even the alpha, but it like I was kind of embarrassed of my capabilities. And I think that could be because of where I was before. And then seeing someone else struggle with something that I could do after not doing it for years, I was like more comfortable giving it a go. And I guess not years, but years consistently. Like I did it maybe like 5 times in the past couple years.
mm-hmm.
So I was like, I don't know if I should be doing that. Saw that and I went, oh, just give it a go.
Did you get that DOMS the next day?
Is that delayed onset muscle soreness?
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, yes, I did, and I'm still sore now, but not as sore as I thought I would be. I didn't go too crazy.
Yeah, mine was really rough when I first got back into it, like 2.5 or 3 weeks ago. But now it's like I was talking about that the other day. Like it's kind of amazing how that goes away. Like you get sore as hell the first few times you do it, and then as long as you stick with it, that just goes away and you're fine. It's crazy.
Yeah, the pain just turns into fatigue, really. Like you can just feel like, oh, my legs are tired. It's not like I can't stand up right now.
Right. Yeah, and like it's a weird pain because it feels debilitating, but at the same time it's not. Like I was walking up the stairs and it really hurts, but you can still do it. It's very strange.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm excited to get back to it. I'm still taking things slow, getting back into the whole lifting thing. And then I'm going to jump headfirst back into powerlifting again.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. I have a goal I want to reach. And like my therapist says, appreciate the small goals, the small wins along the way. And that's what's helping keep me motivated. I've been eating clean for like all January. So
you were like looking at the clock. I thought you were going to say like an hour and a half. I've been
no, I was going to say
for about 35 minutes.
No, I was going to say a month, but I didn't want to overshoot it. So all of January, almost a month. So nice. Eat clean, feeling good, exercising, hitting the sauna, looking for ways to improve. So doing that, hoping I can stick with it, but it seems for real this time. Cool. So hopefully it's real, and hopefully I don't just go back to default fat kid that doesn't want to do anything.
Well, we'll keep you on track every week. We'll do a check in on that, and you'll have to you just got to promise to not lie, and if you fall off, you gotta
yeah. I mean, I'm always very honest on here. True. And I did bring it up with the therapist, me waiting to default back to not wanting to do anything, and she was kind of just saying like, don't be too hard on yourself if you miss a day. Just know like the next day is a new day. You have to do it that day. Which seems like very simple advice, but it makes a lot of sense.
The problem is, what if you don't feel like doing it the next day?
The next day is a new day, but you have to make sure you stay on track. You got to just get up and go. And I'm very motivated to do so. Okay,
cool. Now, you mentioned therapy. Okay, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say. Also, I started taking ashwagandha recently.
What the fuck is
that? Don't know. My work weight makes it, and I've heard good things about it, so I started taking it, and I do definitely notice a difference.
Of what?
Focus, drive, wanting to do things and be active.
Ashwagandha.
Ashwagandha.
How long you been taking it?
A week?
They've tried this on humans.
I don't know. Oh, ashwagandha. No, like you can go into CVS and buy that. That's not like the other stuff I have in the cupboard ready to rock.
Man, supplements. Like I believe in them, and at the same time I don't.
Yeah, I was always in the I don't side until I started taking glucosamine chondrite. I don't think that's the right way to say that second word, but I used to have knee pain like all the time, and I would wake up in the middle of the night with really bad knee pain, like would ruin my sleep, and I'd be whimpering in the bed. And I started taking that every day, and maybe it's happened twice since I started taking it, and it used to be like a weekly occurrence.
That's pretty cool. I remember you talking about that. That's very cool, and I like that especially because there's a marked. I think it's market. There's a market difference. You could say this did it, but especially the mental stuff, it's really hard to judge.
Oh yeah, like I have when I was having actual pain and then taking it, the pain goes away. If it's mental stuff, it could 100% all be placebo. Told me it was going to do this stuff, so I think it's doing that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. So I have a tough time with that. I guess the only way would be tracking stuff over a longer period of time.
Yeah, but I feel like, especially with the mental stuff, you have to like, how do you, mark it? Do you take a test every day? Like, I mean, what do you take some sort of, like, how do you even track if that's getting better over time?
Good question. Yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, I guess tests would be the best way, but that's not realistic. But doing some sort of logging your days, like, yes, my focus still feels better. Because the worry is the placebo effect's not going to last a super long time. So I think what happens a lot, and this is what I was going to say about a lot of shit like this, like cold showers might be one of them. Who knows? All these things that people say are beneficial, you usually do it. And then the first couple of days, you're like, wow, I changed my life. I just figured it out. I'm never going to feel bad again.
Yeah.
And then a couple of weeks later, you're not even doing it anymore, or you're just not getting the same benefit. So I don't know. I would say like, as long as you're taking it like 3 weeks or a month and you say, oh, I still feel like this is doing something, I think it means a lot more.
I think it has to do with like here's this new thing. I haven't done it before. And then you really notice the effects and you keep doing it, and it just becomes kind of normal to you. And that's why these people with all these different solutions to how to make your life better have a laundry list long thing of things that you should do to keep, making yourself feel better, because you need to keep doing something different to do it, to achieve that feeling.
Could be that too. And there's a couple things I really kind of hate about it. And one of them is the way that people get too excited about things when they haven't been doing them long. And Rogan was a super villain in this way, because I started listening to Rogan, he's all about the green shakes. I was like, okay, I'll do those. And then he's like, okay, meditation's good. Okay, I'll do those. But it seemed like over the years I've been watching Rogan, and every month he does a new thing, and he's like, oh, I've been doing sauna, I feel better than ever. And then the next month it's like, I've been taking this, I feel better than ever. And he was always feeling
nothing but elk meat, better than ever.
He's always feeling better than ever, right? So it's like, and then the other thing is, which kind of goes into this too, is like, how many of these do I have to do?
Yeah.
And
like when does it end? When can I just, I'm doing these things, I'm good.
And now, okay, I feel like shit, I'm depressed. Oh, it's because I didn't do my fucking ice shower today. So now I'm the problem that I'm not feeling good because I didn't do all the supplements, meditation, workout, gratitude. And it's just like, it gets to be a point where it's just exhausting.
Yeah, sometimes people will be listing things that they do to make themselves feel better, and it's like, oh, you don't work a 9 to 5.
Yeah,
I work a 9 to 5. I don't have time to do all these things.
Yeah, I remember we were making fun of that a long time ago. One of those Instagram things. It's like wake up at 4 a.m. and you have to do all this shit before 7. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah, not gonna happen. But overall, feeling good. I just hope I don't fall off this train. And like I said, gonna try to appreciate the small wins along the way to keep the motivation.
Cool. So I think I got an interesting document.
Let's hear it. Let's see it. Let's read
it. My last psychiatrist was a bitch, right?
Yeah.
So I decided to cancel with her. Now, Oh, I don't think. Yeah, I had the new psychiatrist appointment too, so I could talk about that a little bit. I didn't talk about him yet, right?
Not the new one. You just had the appointment.
All right. Well, I'll just say the new guy's cool. I like him. He actually seems to care. He took the whole hour. Yeah, whatever. But the thing I wanted to talk about right now is the old psychiatrist. I canceled on her, but I also want a documentation because I just want it for my own records. Like, I want something saying that I was diagnosed with this and here's a medication I was taking. So I called and I asked the receptionist for that, and they said okay, and they sent me something. They sent something over, and I think it's something that I was not supposed to see. And
Really?
yeah, I can share my screen. It's gonna be, I don't know, it's on YouTube, but fuck it, I'll just do it.
Yeah, share it and then read aloud for the class.
All right, I'm checking to see if there's anything that should not be shared here. Probably the whole fucking thing, but whatever.
Very small dick.
Yeah,
Uncomfortably small.
Yeah. I'm not sharing my screen yet, right?
No.
Okay, how do I do that? Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Can you see it?
You're gonna want to join on the YouTube for this. Okay, I can see it.
All right. So what you're seeing right now is a printout, and I believe I'm not supposed to see this because I believe this is my psychiatrist's notes about me.
Oh, this is juicy.
It is juicy, and you can go ahead and read this out loud if you feel up to it, or I can.
You should, because I can't see that well.
Okay. So it's got a section that says chief complaint. I don't like the Abilify. And history of present illness. Now, this is just her notes, I think. And you'll hear this and you'll know why I'm not supposed to read this. Okay. Patient presented today and stated that he does not like the Abilify and that he read negative things about it and that other people told him that the medication decreases motivation. Patient mentioned that he did not want to take the medication from the start. Patient stopped taking his Abilify and was educated on medication compliance. He stated that, I don't mean to be difficult, but I want another medication. Patient educated that if he continues to stop medications, he may be in the future discharged for non-compliance. He stated that he thinks he has ADHD. He was referred for neuropsych testing and he replied, I don't have time to wait for an appointment. Patient stated that he was been eating a lot due to his depression, mentioned that the Abilify is making him gain weight. He was educated that evidence-based studies have shown that Abilify does not cause weight gain. Patient became irritable and said, well, I heard otherwise from other people. Patient was irritable and very argumentative on this appointment.
So how did you feel when you read this for the first time?
Pretty angry, and a lot of it is not accurate. Some of it is, but a lot of it is not accurate.
Irritable and very argumentative. It makes it sound like you're trying to fight her.
I even remember I specifically said, I think I said this on the podcast. I said to her, now I don't want to be argumentative, but but whatever.
Wow.
And so I read that, and then that I had already been wanting to do this, but that pushed me over the edge. I decided to send her a message.
Ooh.
And I can read that.
This is juicy. We should have led with this. This could have taken over the whole podcast.
So I sent this. I don't have access to her contact information, but I have access to the general mailbox. And after I canceled, I wrote this email. I said, hello, my previous provider, her name's Rosalind, fuck her, stated quite confidently that Abilify does not cause weight gain. I've since found evidence-based studies that suggest Rosalind might be confused or uneducated in this matter. Please pass these links along for her continued growth and development. And I gave 4 links to evidence-based studies. 4 links to different studies that all show Abilify causes weight gain, because that's the one thing I can really nail her on. And then after that, I say, indeed, there are other studies that support Rosalind's view. However, I think we can all agree that incorrectly unequivocal statements should be avoided, especially regarding side effects from medication. All the best, Kyle.
I love your response because it was very matter of fact.
And passive aggressive too. I like
so passive.
That's my favorite part of it. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So that was to the general mailbox. What are the odds that she gets to see that?
It's got to be close to 100%.
You think so?
They're supposed to pass that along to her, right? If they don't, they're not doing their job.
Is it killing you to not know if she's going to read it or not? Like you want a response from her? Because I would be begging for a response.
No, actually, I don't really want a response because I think she's the type of person where it just wouldn't get through to her anyway. She would probably double down and say my studies are bullshit or whatever, and it just wouldn't go anywhere. So I kind of feel like sending that was what I needed to do, and now I'm kind of done with that. I don't care at all about any of that.
Yeah, you drop the mic and walked away,
Exactly.
which is like the best move because then it could be a never ending cycle of just no, well, here, read this or here, read that. And then it's like,
Yeah.
are we really going to do this right now? I mean, there's no winner at the end of it.
Yeah.
You win in your head by doing what you did.
Right. And she wins in her head by thinking that I'm some irritable asshole, which, I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, so fuck you, Rosalind.
Yeah, and my new guy was cool. He actually mentioned Abilify causing weight gain too, funny enough.
Did he really?
Yeah, and I didn't even mention it. I just said, yeah,
I would have called I would have called Rosalind and said,
Yeah.
1 second, Doc.
Yeah, right. No, because I mentioned I was taking Abilify, but I went off it after a month because it wasn't really working. And he's like, well, yeah, some people don't like it. One of the chief side effects is weight gain. Like, oh, interesting.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And I just told him that I was on the new medication, which I think I should be on anyway. And he said, yeah, let's continue with that. We can increase the dose and whatever. And one of the first things he said too that I really liked is he goes, so we've only got an hour right now. It's kind of complicated diagnosing someone. If we can't do it right now, we'll do it next time. And I just told him, I was like, well, I'm glad to hear you say that because my previous one did it in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's she's somewhere in her career that's just mailing it in. I've got the degree. I'm collecting the check. Yeah. And it sucks that it's coming from like a mental health care provider, but that you'll get that in any profession. You just got to hope it's not somewhere where it's going to affect you tremendously.
Man. And I even asked her on the second appointment too. I was like, just for my records, what did you diagnose me with? Because I told her I thought I was bipolar, but she just prescribed me medication, didn't say the diagnosis. So she says, I diagnosed you with bipolar. And I said, type 1 or type 2. And she's like, and I could tell she didn't even have the answer.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, she just sucked. And you got to watch out for those, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, she was certainly mailing it in.
Yeah, and Lombowski said it to me before. I probably said it, but you got to advocate for yourself. You got to do your own part, and I think that's true. Just in kind of understanding what's going on with yourself and what might be the course of action, just so when you go into the appointment, you know when something sounds off. And there are other ones out there too. Speaking as someone who felt really hopeless, especially because of my time constraints, I knew that I only had a couple months at most, and I was feeling super hopeless, especially after trying to make so many appointments. But the truth is, there are alternatives out there. If you find someone that sucks, you can find another one.
Yeah, and it's good. I'm sure a lot of people don't do what Jomblowski suggested and advocate for themselves. Yeah. They kind of just, they're the professional. They know what they're doing. I'll just do what they're saying. And kind of just, I mean, the message here is do your own research, figure out what works best for you, because you know yourself better than Jocelyn does. That's for goddamn sure.
Yeah, and
Rosalind. Yeah, so disrespectful. Can't even remember her name.
And I'm gonna go totally against. And this has been a point that we've talked about a few times, but the whole idea was, should you self-diagnose? And I think Nick came on and said, well, maybe sometime, maybe not. And I'm gonna say, absolutely, you should, just based on doing your own research. And this is something that I've read more about recently. A lot of people, especially bipolar people, are misdiagnosed for years. They think they've just got depression because they don't realize the other part. And I think a lot of that will come down to them not doing their own research and just insufficient testing and discussion. Because if you get someone and they diagnose you within 5 minutes, they haven't really looked at the whole picture. So that's up to you to really look at what might be going on. And it's going to be difficult, especially depending on your situation. But the more you do, the better. And if you get called a know-it-all or argumentative or whatever, so be it. You really have to figure it out yourself to some degree because they're not going to do it for you.
Yeah, you have to be self-aware. They're not with you every waking moment of every minute of your life. You
Yeah.
know the ups and downs more than they do. Like you said, this woman diagnosed you within 5 minutes. Bipolar is not something that you can just, it's got to be that. Based off of what you said, you definitely have that. Like, that's, it could be weeks, months of just extreme highs and then same with extreme lows. You have to, she doesn't know that. And it's hard for you on a day to day basis to kind of judge that as well because, oh, I'm not as low, so maybe I'm better. Like, is this normal? Especially if that's something you've been going through your whole life, that feels normal to you and you don't know what a normal non-bipolar life is like.
I think what happens to a lot of people too who haven't been dealing with it for a long time or haven't been tracking it is they just feel one way and they forget about the other way. So they'll just feel depressed, for example. They'll go to the psychiatrist, say I'm depressed, and then they get prescribed a depression medication and it just doesn't work for them because it's not exactly what they've got. And they waste years that way. And I mean, this is something I understand. I don't understand all the other types of things, but I'm sure it happens with all types of diagnoses, just not fully understanding what's going on. And you pick out one thing, you get prescribed the medication for that, and it doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah. So just be aware of how you're feeling. Be honest with your psychiatrist, psychologist, and do what's best for you. I think that's the message there.
I had something else I wanted to bring up unrelated.
Okay.
I feel like I tried to start a bit last podcast and it just tanked, and I'm ashamed of it, and I'm just upset with how it went.
So it could be partially my fault here because sometimes it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, go on. Maybe I recognized the bit and I said that's not good. Let's kill it here.
So it was Aiden, the Singaporean, writing in the letter to us.
I thought that I was going well with. I thought things went well with that.
Now you did something, and it might have been subtle, and maybe the listeners didn't catch it, but I caught it, and it threw me off, and it continued a little bit too. So I read I was starting to read the letter. I said, "Hello, my name is Aiden," and you go, "Aiden, is that a name for Singaporean people or something like that?" And the funny thing is, I actually did research it. Aiden is one of the top names in Singapore, but your disbelief made me feel, okay, this just isn't working. And after that,
So I think it worked, and I'm glad that Aiden did reach out to us.
He didn't. I made it up.
No, but I thought a better name could have been chosen.
But if you were going with the bit, you wouldn't question his name. Why would you question the name?
I was trying to add to it and add a little flair and pizzazz. Like, oh, is that a common name in Singapore? But no. I understand. I get it. I'll take blame for that.
And you didn't read it in the first place. I sent it to you a week in advance.
I have no excuse for that. Oh, I did try to look at it, and then I got a new phone, so my Gmail account wasn't linked, and I was like, okay, I have to just do this later, and then I never got to it.
Yeah. Well, it's just something I wanted to address, especially because we went on pretending it was real, but I felt like it was shit, and I didn't want to continue it. So
no, I thought it was good, and I'm sorry for putting it down.
It's okay, but yeah, it was fake. There's no Aiden, not that I know anyway.
Yeah, but if there is an Aiden out there, you got to suck Kyle's dick because you haven't subscribed to Patreon.
I absolutely agree with that.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to write in and you have something to talk about, we'll be glad to talk about it. And also, I mean, we're looking for guests, right? We've been talking about having more guests on and then not asking anyone to come on the podcast.
Well, that's how you do it, right?
Yeah. We've just like, we're gonna have guests soon, and it's been like a lot of episodes since we've had a guest. Yeah.
Well, we can get Matt anytime, especially now that we're going back to Zoom. My friend who's a filmmaker.
Yeah,
we can get him anytime. What about therapist Nick? Do you still talk to him?
Yeah, of course. He's in Puerto Rico right now. It might be difficult, but he's there for a couple months.
That's cool. Well, it'll happen when it happens.
We'll figure it out. We got to get some more variety on here too. Nick's been on like 4 or 5 times. Love you to death. Okay. We want to have you back on again, obviously, but let's get some new flavor in here.
You mean like a black person?
Well, we got to go down like the checklist. We've already had, non-binary. That's it. Actually, that's the only.
Yeah,
trend.
we've just had straight white men and then one non-binary.
We'll figure it out. We're getting there.
Is that disrespectful to just say non-binary, like as a noun? Like they are a non-binary?
No, I thought that was preferred. I don't know. I still don't know.
Speaking of offensive stuff, I wanted to bring this up.
Oh boy. Should we save this for the Patreon?
Oh yeah, we could talk about this in the Patreon. It's pretty funny. Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Awesome. Kyle, I love you. We're gonna end this. We're gonna go over to the Patreon.
All right, love you too.
Also go to the Patreon and go give us money. Thank you. Bye.
Or suck my cock pie.
Oh, hold on.
This is life being bound to love.